Good evening, Thomas Bailey. Thank you for joining us after this fine 3-1 victory over Peterbrough Sports. What pleased you most about the performance this afternoon?
I think we've gone ahead over the last couple of games and we're sort of switched off, to be fair, but we just kept on going today, the work rate of the players was superb today, so that was a good thing, and obviously Clements as well, and it's pleasing to see what he can do.
It felt like it could have been any number. The score could have been anything this afternoon with the way that we were pressing and creating chances. Missed a couple of penalties. Are you disappointed that we didn't score more?
Yeah, I think we could have scored probably 6 or 7 or so today quite comfortably, to be fair. Obviously for large proportions of the game we were by far the stronger side. We've sort of stalled on the ball at the edge of the box with 10 minutes to go, and they've scored, and then to be fair they could have scored another, so after the final 10 minutes probably a bit tighter than it actually needed to be, but then when you miss 2 penalties after scoring 3 goals, then it's always going to happen, unfortunately, because at the end of the day they have to push people forward, and that's what they've done, and it caused a couple of problems.
Were they missed penalties or were they good saves?
Depends what player you ask, because for me the first one I thought was not the best penalty. The second one I thought was a good save, to be fair. Thankfully there's not a lot riding on it come the end. Obviously there's some games there's a lot more pressure, but today wasn't to be one of them.
And you mentioned Jordan Clement there a few moments ago as well. That would have been his hat-trick from that penalty, but obviously it was a good save.
Yeah, we probably felt a bit sorry for him, and all said because he was on his hat-trick for him to take the penalty, and he won't be doing that again.
It looked a decent enough penalty, in all fairness. It was a good save by Lewis Moat, but you have to really favour the striker in a penalty situation, don't you? We need to be scoring these, putting these away.
Yeah, as I say, there's games that are tight games in the league, probably all around league again, a lot of draws today, so if you get 2 penalties you've got to start scoring them. Like I said, today nothing, thankfully we didn't get punished, but on another day if you get those penalties you've got to put them away. Jordan
deserved his man of the match. What were your reasons really for actually starting him today in place of Bilal Yafai?
Well, we changed the formation as well to what we played previously, and we had a conversation on Thursday and then again on Friday about Jordan. To be fair, is he the man that can link the other attacking players together? And we agreed on that, and we all felt he was capable of sort of joining the other players together, but also scoring a few goals, and he's proved us right.
Fantastic. Now we lose Chris Cox now for 3 games, I believe. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah, with his red card received against Bromsgrove. He was excellent today in centre half, and the guy jumps about 9 foot in the air. It's incredible. Yeah. So he'll be a miss, of course. Yeah. But you've brought in Jamie Crisson on loan to compensate.
Yeah, Coxie. We moved him to centre back today. Obviously we've had them watched for a few games. We knew they were going to float loads of balls into the box against a big striker, and Coxie jumps about 8 foot tall. So he was ideal to move him in there. Obviously with Magunda out and then Coxie out, we've brought in Jamie, who will no doubt play next week against Leiston on Saturday. Again, he's been in training. Again, he's very good in the end. He's a good centre back, which thankfully the club, his parent club's loaned him to us for a month.
With regard to today's performance, it was so night and day compared to Tuesday evening's game against Bromsgrove. And was it simply a formation change, or what have you done in those last few days to get a tune out of the squad today?
Sometimes in football, no matter what you do, you can plan all you like, but sometimes it just simply doesn't work, And Tuesday night, for whatever reason, didn't work, so we changed a couple of personnel today in a slightly different formation. And it clicked, and it clicked quite early, and I thought we were dominant for large parts of the game. So it's early in the season, and you can see by today, teams that have won 2 games have suddenly got beat today, and then there's a long way to go. So we've just got to find our rhythm. We've got a good collection of players in there, so we have got options no matter what we decide to do. So there's just no need to panic at the moment, at the end of the day, and as long as we're in the top part of the table come April is all that matters, not the first 10 days of the season.
Okay, well I guess you'll go home a lot happier this evening than you did against Bromsgrove on Tuesday.
Yeah, there'll be no late night phone calls tonight, so it'll be okay.
like you say, a step in the right direction, really.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've got to be wary. You know, next week we've got Leiston away, so it's a long trip on Saturday morning, and then obviously we've got Hendersford, who are doing very well at the moment as well, which is will be a very interesting game coming to Monday. So we've just got to plan the squad right for the 2 games in quick succession. But like I say, hopefully we're hopeful that both Casaboni and Fordy will both be back as well next week. So. You know, we've got some selection questions to get over next week as well. But you know, you've got to make sure you enjoy the wins, which we will do today, and you know, and hopefully it puts everyone at calm.
Okay, just before we wrap up, Tom, if you could possibly just expand a little bit on the signings that have been brought in. 4 of them were announced yesterday.
Yeah. Obviously, we've got Walton, who's a superb keeper. You know, he really is, and Jazz, you know, is a great keeper in his own right as well. But if there's anything to Jazz, anything happens to him, obviously people see him go down injured today, and you know, thankfully he was okay. But you know, we've got 50 odd games to play, so you know, everywhere's got competition, including the goalkeeper position here. Warren's absolutely a superb keeper, and him and Jazz trained very well this week, and you know, they will push each other to make each other better players. The centre back, as we've said, you know, we've needed cover with Magunda and then Coxey suspended. We brought in Alex from Notts County, mainly because of again, we felt something was missing in the centre of the park. That's why we changed it today. So we brought him in, knowing that he can do a good job for us. He's tall, he's strong, and he's got good pace about him, and can attack forward very well. We just needed a few options. We just needed, it was no wholesale changes. We just needed to make sure if we're going to compete at all levels, we need a squad. And the other side being, when you've got professional clubs offering you players, very good players, you know, you want to take it up, because it might be in a couple of weeks' time we're asking for somebody. So it's good that we've actually got these relationships, and we can take these players and hopefully help their career as well as helping us win some games.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other 2 lads as well. Coden Duncan trained with us earlier in pre-season.
Yeah, Coden's here. He's a good lad. He's very technically very strong. You know, again, bringing when Fordy comes back and everything else, you know, he adds a dimension probably that we haven't got, because he's somebody who links play up between the midfield and the strikers, which is something we've been missing for the first 2 games. There's been something not quite right, so we've put it right this week.
Okay, and the other lad was Jamie Chazon, I believe, from Notts County.
Jamie's from Mansfield.
Yeah,
so Jamie's from Mansfield, so we get on very well with the academy people and also the manager of Mansfield. So they've loaned us him for a few weeks, and we can extend that should we want. Obviously, as I say, we've got Magunda, so we'll see how his recovery. But when you're playing games in quick succession, you know, you need a good squad, and you know, that's what we've got. We've got in depth. We've probably got 2 players for every position at the moment that we can call on, and we just need to make sure when games are coming quick and fast, there's no reasons not to do some good business and some good results.
Okay, Thomas, thank you very much for your time this evening. We'll catch up with you again after the Leiston game.
No problem. Thank you.